Welcome to another podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation.
May I have your attention, please? Your podcast will begin in just a few moments. Please keep your hands inside the podcast at all times and enjoy your ride.
Hello everyone, welcome back to In Out Delete, the show where we review both new and older movies. My name is Gino.
My name is Robert.
America.
And Ricardo.
And we are coming to you live from our editing bay. If you're new to the show, we use the rating system of In Out Delete.
In if you liked the movie and you loved it and you would get a dance from it if you were at the club, you know? Out if you did not like it and you would pass on the dance. You say, yeah, I'm waiting for somebody else. And delete if this movie would be working the Sunday buffet shift at the club. Because it's so horrible.
You're there for the food only.
Damn! So this week we watched Hustlers with J-Lo and Constance Wu and Ricardo's pick, which was
Easy Rider.
Alright, so let's listen to a small snippet of Hustlers.
Front hook, ankle hook, knee hook. From here, you can do the carousel. Just switch and wrap.
Minus 40% is 160.
I just want to take care of my grandma, maybe go shopping every once in a while.
When I was a kid, I always wanted to work with animals. I was close.
Inspired by the viral New York Magazine article, Hustlers follow a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients. Yeah, I want to go first on that. I am in out. I wanted to like it, but it wasn't up to par as I thought it would be. Then again, J-Lo's acting hasn't been up to par.
Since Anaconda.
Don't. And I thought the trailers made it sound like it was more focusing on her. You know, they trying to sideswipe, like, hey, it's a J-Lo movie. No, it's not. It's a Constance Wu movie. And the music is actually, I really like the soundtracks they use for the time lapsing throughout the movie. Cardi B's in it. I wish she wasn't in it. I feel like it would have been the same movie without her too. Lizzo was in it, which I was like, oh shit. And then, spoiler alert, Usher Baby was in it. And I was like, that was dope. But other than that, the storyline was kind of flat at certain times. And, the acting was alright. But, I don't know. That's how I feel. We'll talk more about it in a bit. What about you, Ricardo?
I don't know. This is like a tough one for me.
Are you on the fence?
Yeah, I am.
You take the dance or you don't, bro.
I think I don't know how to put this.
She just walked away. She doesn't want to give you dance anymore. She knows you don't have the money for it.
I think I'm a delete. No.
Whoa.
Fuck. I don't know. See, that's why I'm on the fence, you know?
Nah, I think it's delete, bro.
Yeah,
delete.
yeah. No, but it's because...
That feels like that's what's in your heart.
Yeah, but it's because I know I would watch those scenes again, you know what I mean?
Because of J-Lo?
I mean...
We'll get that in a bit, but go on.
So, yeah, the movie was straight flat. You know, I didn't like any of it, like, of the story. Like, the story was completely, like... Either... Maybe the real story on this would have been more interesting, but the acting was terrible, and the way they said it, and, yeah, it's cool what you were saying about the music. You know how, like, they put, like, I guess, each year. But I just didn't like that scene either. I thought they were trying to make it super cool or whatever, but no. You know, and then, you know, there's scenes with J-Lo when she's dancing, and I was like, oh my, you know, this is cool.
Oh my.
Yeah, but then J-Lo starts talking.
Oh my god.
And I was like, whoa.
So like any stripper you're trying to say.
It was terrible. I was like, oh my god. And I went to America and I was like, damn, why is she talking, dude? Like she's fucking it all up, you know? And then the what's her name?
Constance Wu.
Yeah, she
also started talking.
Yeah, her acting was really bad, and like I don't know. I seen her in Even Stevens. I remember her in Even Stevens.
She was in that.
She was in Even Stevens.
Yeah.
She talking that too?
She was not good. Like her talking, like the whole like interview scenes were so bad.
You wanted a silent movie.
Maybe there was a scene where it did get silent, and I that was the best scene of the whole movie. But
You know, you could just watch porn, right? You know, if you want that stuff without the talking.
And then Cardi B was bad too. Like I was expecting Cardi B to be cool, but nah, man, nothing about it was cool. If I really think about it, damn, I would never watch this movie again.
So your verdict is?
So I am a delete.
What about you, America?
I didn't like this movie at all. I thought the story structure was terrible. The acting was terrible. This could have gone somewhere good, I think, but it just didn't. So I'm gonna delete.
Ooh,
because it just
one.
didn't give me. I mean, I didn't have expectations of this movie, but nah.
I feel like you
it
went
wasn't
with your
as
prediction.
fun as I thought I was gonna have fun, and I honestly was so bored.
You, Robert?
Well, I'm the black sheep of this group right now because I'm in on this.
Really?
Yeah, I had a pretty good time. I thought the story was interesting enough. Yeah, this is not a great movie, but it's a solid movie, I think. The two leads, Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez, I think their story is strong enough. You know, their friendship is developed well enough to connect, I think. It was a little long, I will concede that, and it got kind of, like, confusing at times, like girls just kept popping in. I'm like, who are these people, you know? So they didn't, aside from the two leads, they didn't really develop any of the other ones well. But overall, I thought it was pretty well made, you know, pretty technically well made, and I was entertained throughout. I wasn't bored at all. So I'm surprised you guys are being so harsh on it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have a bone to pick with you about the friendship between Constance Wu and Jennifer Lopez.
Same here.
I thought there was no chemistry there. I really didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't at all.
It's kind of throughout the movie, and with the rest of the girls too, it seems so forced that they're like, yeah, we were a hurricane, like we're so good, we're
So
such best
bad,
friends,
right?
let's take care of each other. Like it was kind of like they were literally just saying that to each other. Like I
To make it
I
right,
didn't see the
best friends.
development.
It did move, I will say, it did move. In the beginning, it was kind of fast, and it was a little bit confusing as to how much time was passing.
Yeah.
I will say that. So in the first, like, 15, 20 minutes, I was a little bit confused. And even I was, you know, with the two leads, I thought they were a little, like you guys, I thought they were a little dry. And you guys are going to hate me for this. When Cardi B came in, she had, like, actual charisma.
I
was
thought
like,
so, too.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh, here's somebody who
Yeah.
lights up the screen. And I enjoyed watching her. And I never
Yeah.
thought I would say this sentence in my life. But I think this could have used more Cardi B.
I agree
wow.
completely with you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her place. Like that is
Yeah.
where if someone's gonna bring authenticity like to this, it would have been her.
Yeah.
Like because that scene was really really good when they were trying to teach the new girl how to dance.
Yeah, and, like, I think having a more, like, solid crew that you knew who each girl was and each one of their
Yeah.
traits, having Cardi B in that, and maybe, I don't know, this is obviously based on a true story, but they, you know, made up a lot of stuff. So they could have
Yeah.
thrown Cardi B in there and have her
Yeah.
be, she would have been so much fun conning those guys, you know?
Yeah.
That would have been a
Agreed.
lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
I
See?
can agree with that.
Yeah.
But like, when there's times she was talking, I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I know that's how she normally talks, and that's her keeping it real, and I know everyone loves that. I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
I mean, you're at a
You,
strip club.
you both
Do
just
want
want
her
the women
like...
to shut up in this movie.
Me, it's just Cardi B, because of this is like, I don't like the way she talks. Like, when she was talking shit to the bouncer, like, oh, motherfuckers making money, I ain't giving you shit. Okay, that made me laugh. But other than that, I didn't care for her. I was just like, all right, I'm cool, I'm done. I'm like,
I actually, no, I thought that scene was really funny, and that could have been used throughout just to give it a little bit more color, because, you know, I connected with it enough, but like I said, the other girls weren't really developed, and you didn't know who they were, and then oftentimes they would just disappear.
Yeah.
And then come back all of a sudden. So aside from the two leads, which maybe you guys are right, and they weren't developed well, but I accepted it, because I kind of got into their little plan, their little caper, and I was interested in that. That to me was pretty interesting, how they would steal from those guys.
Oh
so
yeah,
that carried me through the movie.
Yeah, but then like it got old. No, like they started using the same scenes, the same shot. Everything was the same, and I was like, nothing exciting is happening really, through the whole thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was technically well made, like the editing and like the shots and all that.
Yeah,
I thought that
but
was
that's
really
not
well.
enough to make it a good movie.
No, but I mean, I'm looking at all the aspects, while I'm watching it.
And then and I remember the girl when she's getting interviewed, the Asian girl. Fuck, I forgot her name.
Constance.
Wu.
And Wu was like contradicting herself. Remember? You remember that scene where she was just like, "Yeah, my friends, like, I will never do anything," and then she's like,
Yeah, she tells her, "I'm gonna stop talking to you now because they're my friends, and I don't want to push them under the bus."
But anyways, I was like, he fucking Rick James did right there.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
No, but no. Other than that, like that's why I said like that story, that whole thing is interesting, you know. But like they didn't do it right, or something was missing, or J-Lo was fucking it all up for me.
No, I mean, you know what, dude? Also, like back to the whole them being best friends. Like I was just annoyed towards like we were best friends, and also what'd she say about me? Like it's like, bitch, like what the fuck? That was getting annoying. Like she would care. She was like, yeah, we haven't talked, but I don't care. And then also like, oh well, she said something differently. And also she's like, oh, but what would she say? Like also she cared and shit.
But I think it shows that like, cause you know, while she's telling the story, you know, you automatically assume that J-Lo was just using her, you know, to make money and stuff. But as as you see the actual, you know, scenes play out, they were actually friends. You know, J-Lo actually did care about her. She wasn't just using her. And that's why you have that, you know, I kind of hate her, but she was also really my friend. And she herself is on the fence because she wasn't sure which one it was, right?
She needs to get off the fence, too.
that literally is what happens at the end. She realizes that, you know what, there was a fucked up situation, but at the end of the day, if you strip all that away, she was her friend.
Yeah. Got it. Real quick, while we're talking about J-Lo, you made a comment last week that you didn't take her serious, that she works at a store clerk.
I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
Is this one of them? We're gonna.
I will say, I was gonna bring up the whole J-Lo thing. So I don't buy her at all in any role, right? I don't think she's a very strong actress, but I think this role, you know, because she was kind of like the ringleader, it did suit her personality a bit. So I was able. It's adequate. It's not great performance. It's adequate, but I was able to buy it.
Yeah, I can also kind of see her being that person.
But see, the another thing that bothered me is that I thought her character was gonna be better, you know, cause like I remember in the beginning where she's getting interviewed, the Wu character, she was like, she made it seem like, J-Lo's in control, like she's always been in control, you know, and like
it really did seem like
J-Lo was this gonna be better, and then like it's like a normal person that kind of fucking. I don't know.
I think it just shows Wu's jealousy, like, or like, you know, that like kind of hatred.
I think that's what puts the doubt in your head of whether, you know, she was her friend or not, right?
Yeah.
Whether she's just using, you know, she kind of took her under the wing really quick, right? And for no reason. So you kind of question like, oh, maybe she's just doing it because she sees she could use her to make more money, right?
Yeah, and then that's what I wanted though. I wanted her to be like a cool character. When she wasn't, like, it kind of bugged me because I needed, like, someone had to be cool, right, in this movie because it's supposed to be a cool movie.
Well, because it shows that they were just regular people. You know, they found a way to make money, right? But they weren't criminal masterminds.
If they had a strong cast of girls who, like, you can believe their friendship, it would have been, I think it would have been good.
Yeah. They would show the years. And like another year, like, and then I remember I was like, "Oh, the movie's over." No, it's not over. I was like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, by the end, I was like, "Oh man, like,
come on,
she still has to have a falling out with J-Lo, see the aftermath of that, and then make up with her." Like, this is gonna be like another half an hour. It was a little long. It was over. They could have trimmed like 20 minutes out of this, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then like I remember
made it move a little bit better.
The movie wasn't even over, and then like I was like, "Oh, I think it's over," and I actually walked out. We were like walking out, and then like. We turned around and I was like, oh, it's still going on.
It has a little flash of like, oh, this person went to jail on the weekend. That's what
like,
it said, right?
Yeah,
that two of them went to jail on the weekends.
You want to know what happened after?
Usually
you want to know what happened after, and I really didn't care anymore. I was just, I'm done. Like, I don't even care. You know,
I was surprised that like they didn't get like any real time though.
The reason I'm an out as well, it could have been in the lead, but I chose it out because J-Lo looked good dancing. I'll give her that. I'll give her that.
Man, when she came out, I was so excited.
No, it sounds perverted, but I'm trying to say she's fit as fuck for being 50 years old.
That's what I was gonna.
Yeah, she's fucking 50. What the fuck?
Yeah, right. Yeah. She's fit as hell, dude.
Yeah. She's not 50.
I give her applause, dude. Yeah. I give her applause because you deserve it, girl. Right? You work out very well. All right, guys, we're gonna take a small break. Stay tuned.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Coming soon to theaters.
My whole life, all I ever wanted to do was play baseball. My dream is to play in the major leagues.
You got something, kid. You got hot. You can make it all the way.
Get up, boy, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Andy's dream seems too big for everyone else.
You ain't got what it takes, kid. You're too small.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes.
You need more than a dream, kid. You need more than talent. But how far is he willing to go to prove everyone wrong?
when you get to the top, where everyone's just as good as you, it's gonna take a little bit more. Are you willing to commit yourself?
I only have a few more games to catch the eyes of the scouts. Can you help me?
You gotta push yourself, son.
You're killing me!
Look, kid, you're good. But what's gonna set you apart? It's not your talent.
Is it my heart? My determination?
No, kid. It's steroids. Matthew McConaughey stars in this unbelievable true story.
Are you sure I can do this?
Kid, when I got to the majors, I started taking steroids. Hit 50 home runs, got my big contract, and kid, I only got suspended 50 games. Alright.
You're right.
Andy, or How I Stopped Worrying and Took Steroids, starring Matthew McConaughey and Billy Bob Thornton, based on a true story, coming soon.
Easy Rider. Through the open country and desert lands, two bikers head from LA to New Orleans. Along the way, meet a man who bridges a counter-culture gap they are unaware of.
So why'd you pick this movie, man?
Oh yeah, so this movie brings me back back to like my old days.
Back to the 60s.
Yeah, and like I love that the soundtrack and everything, and like I love the experimental of this film, like how they just go and do jump cuts, and watching it a long time ago, I really loved it. Like, I loved it so much because it was just like talking to me. Like they were talking, I was in that conversation.
That's how movie is, bro. They talk.
Yeah, and then they seem.
Oh,
like,
so you like the men talking in this movie?
Yes.
But yeah, I get
yes.
it. Yeah.
and I really I never stopped liking it, you know. So I really liked the characters and everything. But when I saw it an older age and sober, I still liked it. Like it wasn't like a difference or anything. I still appreciate everything, the message. So yeah, that's why I picked it. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but let's see what you guys thought.
I want America to go first on this one.
Okay, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm an in. It surprisingly, because the first like 12 minutes is an intro, basically. That's when they start like talking. And at first I was like, are they ever gonna get to what this movie's about? Like minute 8 to 12, somewhere around there, you find out, oh, they're going to New Orleans. And so despite that, like I really, really liked this movie. I thought it was like a cool experimental like movie. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it.
What about you, Robert?
I'm gonna have to go out on this. I could just never, this is considered a classic for whatever, and I've always heard about it, just never watched it, and I could see, why it appealed to a certain generation, but I'm not part of that generation, so I couldn't really connect with it, and I like, I'm not gonna delete it because, I like the experimental stuff, like I enjoy movies that are like, no, not a lot of dialogue and. Not a lot of plot moving it forward. Just kind of like a tone poem kind of with the music and all that. So I like those movies, and I like a lot of those movies. But I just couldn't really connect with what was going on because I don't do drugs or anything like that. And that whole counterculture thing, I guess I just couldn't connect with that stuff. But I will say when Jack Nicholson showed up, I started to enjoy the movie, like, a lot. I was like, oh, like, I actually like this now. But again, it wasn't enough for me to, I guess I would never watch it again. I'm glad I finally did, because it was always on the list. And the soundtrack was great. I love the way he used it, and the cool like cuts and there's a lot I like in this like experimental. But because I couldn't connect with what the message and all that, I don't know. Maybe you can enlighten me on that later. But that's why I had to go out.
So. I am in out as well. I agree with Robert. He said a lot of things I was thinking to myself as I was watching it. But I give it props to Dennis Hopper who directed it. Yeah. And he's been that type of guy who kind of in his movies when he acts, he kind of overdoes his character. But it could go both ways. It goes good or bad. and this is how I feel with his direction with this movie.
It's very eccentric, just like his acting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I see it in certain cuts and transitions, and I'm like, yeah, that's a Dennis Hopper thing. And that's why I was surprised he directed it, and he wrote it with Peter Fonda and some other guy.
Yeah.
And I bet they were fucking high as balls writing this script, because there's a lot of dialogue and scenes. I was like, that is some interesting fucking shit. That being said, like, I was with Robert. I couldn't really connect to the characters, and especially in that era, because I'm not a hippie. I don't do drugs. When Jack Nicholson came along, I like that he was a different person as well. Like, he had a weird, like, small, like, high pitched voice, and so it was interesting.
You know, what's funny is that a lot of the things from the movie have been done and copied so much that they're cliches now, right? And to see where that stuff came from is really great. And this movie was groundbreaking when it was made, because movies there wasn't stuff like this, you know. So I could see that, like, I guess I love the movie for pushing, film in that direction. In a lot of ways, I kind of want to change my opinion, because in talking about it and appreciate what it did, just because I didn't connect with the characters. I don't really understand that culture, doesn't mean that it's bad. Yeah. So I have to appreciate it for what it is, And like Gino said, it is, you could totally see that Dennis Hopper directed it, because it is totally his personality in the film, in the cuts, in the zooms that it does. Yeah, so yeah, maybe by the end of this, I might change. Yeah. Keep the stuff coming, keep it coming.
So one critique that I didn't like, I think this is the only thing that I didn't like about this movie, there wasn't really any character development. It's not really supposed to have any, because it's just kind of following two friends on their little road trip. So you don't really need that much, because the movie just kind of moves as they do through, from LA to New Orleans. But I do think that I kind of wanted to see them, I wanted to see them grow a little bit.
I think that's why I couldn't connect, because there wasn't that much to grasp onto, right? Unless you were like these people that you could see yourself in them, there's not a lot to say, like, well, it's so strange to you, right? Those type of characters, that type of lifestyle, that you're looking at it from a distance, and that's why it's hard to connect to it. But what would you say is the message of this movie? Enlighten me.
Okay, so the first time I watched it, I thought it was the end of the hippie era. The 1969. That's why I should have picked this with Once Upon a Time, because it's basically what it's saying. The new Hollywood is here, and like this is like a Western, but with fucking motorcycles, you know, and their style and how they're dressed. That's
and
like,
this is what killed the Western.
Exactly. It's like saying, like, how like Nirvana killed metal, it's the new era, right?
Yeah.
And then they're the new cowboys or whatever. And how they have long hair and the hippie style, whatever. And then at the end of the movie, when they succeed on their little quests, they did what they wanted to do, but he's like, yeah, man, we're rich, we did it, we're rich, man. And he's like, nah, bro, we blew it, like it's like this big message, not just saying about like the Hollywood thing or whatever. It's talking about, I think. It's talking about how the hippies messed it up. The hippies during that time were the peacemakers, the ones that like, look, we could be free. Like how this whole movie, they're being free. There's no time. He takes off his watch, whatever. Everything's free. And look, we're doing this movie with experimental. We could do whatever we want now, And they blew it by, like, during that time. Remember, people started overdosing. Like politicians were getting killed. Everything, like. The hippies didn't do shit. We blew it, and that's like the big message.
They didn't change anything.
But do you think that that's what the characters were saying?
Yes, I think so. It's like a message telling, not like just the movie era, but the hippie era is gone with this film. And at the end, like, spoiler, I don't want to spoil what happens at the end, but that's like the main thing, it's over. And
pretty abruptly too.
I definitely didn't see that coming.
And if like, you look at it that way, there's like some good symbolism and imagery there, for that.
But
so
and then like the way they shot, like it's all like there's this scene when they go to New Orleans, right? And then like it's like hand movement.
Yeah.
I read that it's a guerrilla style. Like it was just all freestyle, and then like the people were real. Everything was real.
I can see that. There's a lot of I noticed a lot of reactions. Like for example, Peter Fonda's making out the girl. Everyone's like, "Ooh," you know, like because I guess they see an actor fucking kissing someone in the middle of the street. Also, there's a moment where Dennis Hopper is like talking to some guy, and they kind of look at each other like, "What the fuck, bro?" Like. And there was like a little interaction there. I thought there was gonna be a fight, but I don't know. He kind of like brushed it off and like, or move on. Yeah. It looked, and then also like, and I bet they must have filmed it all night. Like they must have done an all nighter. Yeah, probably. Filming this because it was like it went from nighttime to dawn, and I was like,
read more about it. Like,
and also the way they processed the film too, because it looks really different there.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say there was a lot of shots like when they're just riding their motorcycles that are overexposed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I, at first I was like, oh, that's a mistake. But then I was like, no, is it really? No, it's not. Right? It's part of the style of the movie.
Yeah. I think this is a movie to watch for the purpose of style. Like you are just looking for the techniques they used.
It's important. It's important to watch.
I think it's kind of maybe a majority of this. I think that's really why I liked it too, because I don't think that I can identify with these guys, but I do feel like I kind of went on the trip with them, but I really, really enjoyed it for its technicalities. Because it's not an easy movie to watch. Yeah. Like, you put this on for anyone, and they might walk away.
Yeah, because like, what the fuck's going on?
If I turned around for a second and then came back to the screen, I was like, wait, what? Yeah. And it's because of, like, the editing and then the shots that they use, and it's all very jarring. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's not your conventional movie. Like, it's not your Friday night movie.
That's what I like about it, is that it's, it was a groundbreaking movie, and you need that. You need that to push the art form forward. So I think I'm gonna use up my my thing here and go in. Yeah, I still, my initial thoughts are still there. It's hard. I didn't connect. I didn't, because I don't like hippies. Fuck them. So that's why I was watching this and not connecting, right? Because I don't like that. Their whole movement and all that. I can give a shit. So that's why I went into it with that. With that
notion of like dirty.
Fuck these people. I don't give a shit if it's a movie about them. Who cares? Shoot them all.
Wow, goddamn hippies.
But as on the filmmaking side, you have to watch it. You have to appreciate what's going on. The rules that it's breaking. And just so in your face. And and that's fucking. That's like freeing for filmmakers, saying like you can do all these things. It doesn't have to follow a certain set of rules. Especially how stuff was made in the 60s. So proper.
That's another thing I was gonna tell you guys. Like, since we're all editors and stuff, like, imagine editing this one. You know, it's like what they did it with film, right? Yeah. So it's just like jump.
And just having a director tell you, like, let's fucking go for it.
It's so dope.
That would be so amazing.
I agree, because like. Okay, I want to mention this, the graveyard scene towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I love the shots he really did, and then the acting, and then with Peter Fonda going, I'm so sorry. Like, dude, I know they're tripping balls, but the way they shot it, I feel like that's an influence. That's another influence shooting, because I know I've seen that in some of those fashion style commercials, like, for Coach or for fucking Michael Kors. Like, they use that style similarity. Like, people are just minding their own business, or they're high on something, and these crazy ass zoom ins and crazy ass like handheld shots, or people minding their business, but they're all up in their grill. Like, what are you reading? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. I agree with Robert. Like, this movie is great for like visuals in a way, like to influence you in a way, like you can do more.
Show it in class.
No, and
I would. To me, honestly, this is one of those movies that gets me excited. Like, you watch this, and like, I don't know, when you guys watch good movies, do you kind of feel like, yes, like this is what I was looking for, and this is kind of like, like, I don't know, like it kind of influences you a little bit.
And that's why I said like so much of the stuff now has been done so much that it's cliche now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost cheesy in a way. Even with the first song, "Born to Be Wild," right?
Oh, yeah.
That song is a fucking joke now, right?
Yeah.
Because it's used like in a movie with a guy driving a chimpanzee, that
movie with the kid.
But
Problem Child.
Yeah, but then you look, it's like, no, that's that shows how influential this movie is, because when you go so far that it turns into a cliche, that means that everybody was influenced by it, right?
And also, what I want to say is also that there's a piece of a line that I liked when they were talking within themselves by the fire, and they're like, "Oh yeah, but we're free, man, we're free." But like the thing is that people don't see that. That's why they don't like hippies, because I guess we're so used to the society of being in the box and then these hippies are thinking outside the box in a way. So that's why they see it as freedom, and then people who are in the box see it as a threat. And I kind of feel like that's also a message of the filmmaking of this.
Yeah.
Because I bet at the time people freaking like, you know, we need to do a wide shot, pan shot, over the shoulders. And this guy's like, nah, fuck that. Handheld, just do all this weird zoom ins. Let's do these jump cut transitions. Like, that's how I took it as well. That's why that's what I'm saying. I think I kind of got the message, but there's messages for different meanings to me in this movie.
The trip with them.
Oh, I was gonna say this is a very Ricardo movie. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course you picked this movie.
But it's like they're going on a trip, to New Orleans, but at the same time, the whole movie is a trip. So you're like in a double trip, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. So it's really, really cool. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there were other experimental films, maybe before this, around the same time. But this one reached the mainstream, right? And that's why it's important,
for
right?
sure.
Is when they go to the little tribe of hippies who are sowing seeds in the desert, and they're outsiders, and they're staying with them, eating their food. And they're like, these kids are going to die. Look at them. They're city kids. And you just see these kids kind of like zoned out, just throwing seeds onto the driest sand you've ever seen.
Yep.
Right? And it's like, obviously they're not going to get anywhere. And then you go inside and they're saying like a prayer, like, please let us survive. Like, we have to do this to like prove that it was worth anything, kind of, And it's just like, you guys are dumb. Just go home.
And
like
it was interesting the scene before that when he goes to patch up his bike and they meet the farmers there who are living off the land, right?
Yeah, they're doing it, right? Yeah. They have plenty of land. They have a home. Like, it's a structure.
Yeah.
And he has a family. They're obviously doing well. So.
That's why I don't like hippies. But those kids, that's what I would be doing if I were out there just throwing seeds in random dirt.
Yeah, but overall, like, I love this movie, and like I saw it again, and when I was watching it again for this, I was like, what? This is so good.
This would be a great one to watch in the theater.
Yeah.
To experience.
Good pick. Mind blowing.
Thank you.
Even though I'm out.
You still?
I'm out, bro. I'm sorry.
All right.
So yeah, guys, seems like we have 3 ins and 1 out. Sorry about that, but I mean, like I said, the message, I got it, but I'm good now. So make sure to tune in next week as we watch Ad Astra with Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones, and my pick, which is The Killer by John Woo and starring Chow Yun-fat.
Hell yeah!
It's a great action movie. I hope you guys really enjoy it and watch it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
So what are you guys' predictions for Ad Astra?
I think I'm gonna be an in on this one. Yeah, it looks really good. Hopefully, it's not trying to be like Interstellar or anything. It has like its own style. Hopefully, but I think overall, I think it's gonna it looks entertaining and sad. Like I might feel something for it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I think I'll be an in too. I think it's got enough to intrigue me.
I love space movies. Any movie about space, I'll watch, and I just love the subject matter. That being said, this movie looks kind of stupid. There's a fucking car chase on the moon.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailers? Like, what is this, Fast and the Furious? I don't know. It just looks kind of dumb. But I think I'm gonna, just like horror movies, I grade them on a curve. I might be grading this on a curve, so I might be in.
I don't know. I don't know what to say actually, because like Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones and Donald Sutherland are the only actors I know in that movie, and I'll probably be in. It's because I really enjoy the actors. Yeah, so I think I'll be in as well. Please don't forget to follow us on Instagram under @delete_reviews, one word, to get updated on upcoming episodes and little shenanigan type posts. Until next time.
Thank you for listening. Please exit the podcast and don't forget to collect all your belongings and young children. We hope you enjoy listening and have a great rest of your day here at In, Out, Delete.
This has been a podcast presentation from the Zenith Corporation, working for a better tomorrow for all of mankind.